Kristin. Welcome to the Wired
Hi,
Life podcast. A pleasure to have you here today. How are you doing? How's your Saturday so far?
I am doing well. Thanks for asking.
All right, very good. So we're very excited to hear a little bit about you, your journey, and how you got started in real estate. Did you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, of course. So I have been investing for about, well, this past month will be a year. I have started with like the master class in Teresa's group. I did the $17 thing, and then it was something that I always kind of wanted to do, but I never really put a lot of time and effort into like thinking that I was going to quit my job and start real estate. Um, but after I took the class, I was like, you know what? Like, what the heck? Like, let's just like try it. So I did it for a couple of months, and then after I had got my first deal and everything, I talked to my husband, and we were like, all right, I think this is something that I want to do full time. So after that, it kind of just like took off from there. I think my what like the tipping point for me was like at the end of last year, where I was like, all right, I feel like I'm finally kind of like getting the hang of it. We went through like a rough couple of months where it was like, I don't know, like every deal that I did, it was like awful. um but definitely like having a little bit of perseverance and like getting through everything, like really put stuff into perspective. And after that, then it was like everything just really like took off. So I am appreciative of the hard times, but at the same time, definitely don't want to do that again.
Could you tell us a little, I mean, because our next leading question was just going right into that. Like, is there any particular experience that you feel like you could share with the audience that, hey, for newbies starting in real estate, or if you yourself had to start all over again, I would kind of like stay away from this, or this is kind of what happened to me, and this is what I learned.
Yeah, I would just say like just prepare for things just not going as planned. So like I got about 6 deals under contract at one time in November. And so all of them were supposed to start like closing in December. Well, it was like literally one deal after the other one. It just like things started blowing up in my face. And just to give you like a couple of examples. So the one deal that I had, I found out from the title company that the buyer actually wasn't using hard money. They were trying to get a mortgage. So, and they failed to disclose that. So they kept pushing the closing date out, closing date out, closing date out. It would be like, oh, we're going to close. And then it'd be like, oh, we need an extension, like literally the day before we were supposed to close. And then it happened again. And then be like, oh no, like we need an extension. So finally I was like, what is going on? We'll come to find out that that's what was happening. And it was this whole huge ordeal because they didn't want to admit that they were doing anything wrong. So they didn't want to release the earnest money and release. So basically what happens is like if there's a conflict, the title company is not the person that resolves that. So either you have to resolve it between yourself or you have to get an attorney involved. Well, when you have to switch from one buyer to the other one, the buyer or your original one has to sign off saying that like we're terminating this agreement. Well, because I was keeping their earnest money, they were refusing to do that. And because they were refusing to do that, I couldn't assign the deal or close on it with anybody else. It was like they were doing it on purpose because they wanted their money back. And so like that whole process was like so stressful. And then like having to go and tell the seller like, oh yeah, by the way, these people that said that they were going to close, I know we've been saying that we're going to close for 3 weeks now. Well, now like we can't. So I had like that one happen. I had another deal where I just locked it up too high. And so then when I went back to like renegotiate with the seller, it was like there was absolutely no wiggle room at all. Like it was a duplex. They knew that they had like a cash cow and they got it super cheap, and they were wanting to like sell it for twice what it was worth. And so I thought that I could like negotiate and get around that one, but no, that one fell through. And then I had another one that was like a mobile home. Not that mobile homes are bad. Mobile homes actually, like, you can have a lot of success with them, but like this particular one was in a park. And because it's in a park, I learned that there are like the park has control over who lives in the home, regardless if you are the actual person who owns the mobile home or not. So like they have to go through an application process and like all that stuff. Well, I was completely unaware. So when I was trying to sell it, I didn't realize that like all of these people had to then get approved by the park. So because they had to get approved by the park, like the park ultimately had control over like how the deal went. So they obviously want people who are like responsible, are going to like take care of, the property and stuff like that living there. So I ended up having to cancel that contract as well. Just because it was like, holy crap, I had no idea. There were the other two did go through out of like the total, and I did end up closing those. One of them closed like the first, I don't know, it was like second week of November, and that one went really well. And then I closed another one like, I don't know, like the week before Christmas. So that was the other one that closed. But it was like, man, out of all those deals, like they were, it was like all of them were learning experiences. And so now, like every time that I lock up a deal, I just make sure that, like, number one, I don't try to get a deal under contract that I'm not going to personally close on myself. And two, I make sure that I know like all the facts about the property. So like, whether it be a mobile home or, like the person has, X, Y, and Z going on, like I don't assign it to anybody unless I've like really worked with them. Like I don't do that stuff anymore because it was so painful, like going through those like growing pains of like learning that I was like, man, I never want to do that again. That was awful.
Thank
And
you
it was
for being so honest about it,
really stressful. It was
Appreciate
like a bad couple of months. But then after that, like after I got through those, and like I ended up having in what was it, in February, it was like my best month that I've ever had. I closed almost like $60,000 worth of assignments in February after that.
Congratulations.
But it was like, what I'm saying, like you have to like go through like some of that stuff sometimes to just like know, okay, like we're never going to do this again. Like that was really sucky.
And what is your main strategy? Like, did you use like wholesale, fix and flip, or a little bit of everything?
So I'm mainly wholesale, and then for like cash flow. And then I do have two rentals that I have kept like from the wholesale business. I've just like transferred them over. And one of them I just rented last week. And then the other one, I'm starting like the construction on it. So like it's getting like a new roof and like stuff like that. And then renovating like the inside of the house. So
All right, very nice. And what is your market? Like what area? What state?
so I am located in Northwest Indiana, so kind of up by Notre Dame. We're like an hour and 45 minutes outside of Chicago. We're 30 minutes from Lake Michigan. We're right here in like Notre Dame campus area, so it's a college-ish town. A lot of people do short-term rentals and stuff here, which I would eventually like to do, but I would like, I don't know, my plan is I need to establish a little bit more my rental business and then make sure like the cash flow is coming in through the wholesale business first before I like jump to that one, just because I want to make sure that I have enough money to do everything.
Makes sense. Good idea. And let me ask you if you don't mind sharing. So, what marketing strategies have been working for you so far?
Yeah, of course. So I mainly do only two marketing strategies. One of them is SMS texting. So there's a lot of regulations around that right now, and a lot of stuff that they're changing, but I use a platform called Smarter Contact to do all my texting through. And it's by far probably like my highest in terms of like return on investment for marketing dollars, just because it's so cheap. Like it's 2 cents to send a text message. And then my other form of marketing that I use is it's a pay per lead service. It's with Need to Sell My House Fast, but so what it is you as an investor can just sign up on it and you just pay for leads. So they come in. It is a little bit more expensive, but these are people who like absolutely want to sell. Like they have gone online and like filled out a form basically saying like, yes, I'm interested in selling. Yes, I want a cash offer on my house. Yes, I want you to contact me. So it's like a little bit of a different lead than I would say like an SMS texter. So those are my two main forms of marketing. And then I am going to start here in probably like the next like couple of weeks, add on cold callers. So I'm gonna try that out again.
All right, very nice. And I was going to ask you, what does your team look like? Is it just you now? Is it the family, or you actually outsourcing to VAs, or?
So I have 3 VAs. So I have 2 VAs that strictly do texting for me. So they handle all the inbound messages. They set up the campaigns, they respond to everybody. And then anybody who's like, yeah, I'm interested in selling, they put all that stuff into my CRM. And then I have a third person, and they are my lead manager. So what they do is as all the leads come in, they reach out to them like via the phone, like call them and just basically determine whether or not it's like an active or a legitimate lead. So, and then they book an appointment, like a house appointment for me to go and like talk to the person. So I only have 3 right now. But then after this month, at the end of this month, I'm going to start looking for an acquisitions person. So I am going to start hiring. So then that'll be the person that basically runs all the appointments and everything and does that for me.
Very nice. And do you have like a specific company you're using that's been working well for you, or are you actually training your own VAs like off of Fiverr or Upwork or something?
They are, I know, baby. I know. She's snuck in here. So I use Riva Global as my VA service. So it's kind of like Fiverr, also very similar to, I would say, kind of like Legacy Troops. The only thing is like you don't get rotated through. Like I have a specific VA that is like assigned to me that I use. So then like I can train them, I can teach them how to do stuff, but it's a little bit different than say like if you were just using them for like a calling service or something like that where they would rotate them out. But yeah, Riva It's called Riva Global. They're a little bit pricier, $10 an hour instead of the 6, but it's basically like you have, like your own hire. So you like work with them, teach them stuff. So all 3 of mine, so my lead manager and my 2 SMS all 3 of them are from Riva.
Very nice. And could you share again for our audience, what was that other website or source that you used to get the leads that are actually like interested, like was it pay-per-click?
It's called Need to Sell My House Fast. So if you just type in www.needtosellmyhousefast.com, and then up in the upper right hand corner, like you can sign up, and you should be able to sign up as like I think it's called the investor portal. But when you log in or whatever, they'll do like an orientation with you, and then just walk you through the counties that you want to sign up for. So like for me, I've just signed up for my local 2 counties that I'm like marketing in. But I mean, if you wanted to be virtual or whatever, you could sign up for whatever you wanted.
Okay, very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm sure this is very helpful, not only for myself, because I also wholesale, but also for the rest of the audience as well. So how do you balance? Let's get a little more personal, if you don't mind. How do you balance like personal life, business life, and everything we all have going on at once? Like, how do you keep yourself accountable? You time block, or how do you fit all of this in?
I would definitely say it's really hard. And some days it's like, I just need a nap. So, I mean, both our kids, so we have 2 little ones, and then my husband, soon to be like a family of 5, because I'm 6 months pregnant. So I'm due August 14th. So, like the little one, she just goes to daycare except for like on the weekends and stuff like that. And then our son, he is getting ready. He'll be like going to kindergarten. So like that part will be like so much better, because he goes to like pre-K right now. So both of them are I guess like away during the day, which makes it a lot easier to be able to like run appointments and do stuff like that. But what's really helped me is like I live and die by my Google Calendar. So if it's on the calendar, like it's real, it's happening. If it is not on the calendar and you just like in passing are like, oh yeah, let's do a call, and I don't have it on the calendar, it's not happening. It's just not. And I try my very, very best to like not commit to anything unless I like look at my calendar. And the reason being is like right now I don't have an acquisitions person, so I'm like running all of my own appointments. So like if I don't check, or if I'm like, oh yeah, like what time, then like I could like double book myself or something, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh well, I should have been to that and I totally forgot. So yeah, like I would definitely say time blocking in my calendar is like a big thing. And then the other thing that I've also committed to is like I don't work after 5:30. Like after 5:30 is like my hard cutoff time. I try to start wrapping stuff up around 5 o'clock. I don't take calls, I don't go on appointments. Like my team knows that, like after a certain time, like I'm out. Like if you guys need something, like we all need to grow up a little bit and like answer our own questions. Or if it's like super important, like put it in your recap and I'll look at it tomorrow when I'm back in the office. But I just and that's just for like my personal sanity and like our family time, because I'm the type of person where if I don't have a hard cutoff time, it'll be like 8 o'clock and I'll still be reading emails. And it's like, why is it 8 o'clock at night and I'm looking at like
I'm so glad that you mentioned this, because
like
so many of us do this.
yeah.
It's so true. And You're definitely an example. We do need that hard cut off time. If I catch myself 8 o'clock, like you said,
Yeah.
doing things. That's good. Good
Yeah.
that you touched on it. And so what do you like to do for fun for you?
For me, I really like reading, going outside. Um, we do like, I try to do at least like one like fun thing with the kids like a month. So like now that it's summer, like the kids we have here, like we're really close to the lake, so like 30 minutes away. So like we'll do like one day a month or a couple days a month where it's like beach day, where we just like go hang out at the beach, we play at the water, we do stuff like that. We also have like a splash pad that's like really close to our house that we can just like walk to. So I tell myself that like for family time that we need to do at least like one family thing like a month. And it's just like a really good stress reliever for me. I know like sometimes when you're like working and then you have like kids and then like all this stuff, it's just like, you get caught up and don't and like miss the little moments, of like the kiddos like, crawling all over you and wanting mommy and like stuff like that. So I try really hard to like not take it like that for granted. But it's also like really relaxing for me that I can just like go and like let them run around and I can just, sit on the bench and watch. Um, but yeah, I say other than that, like I'm an avid reader, like really love different types of books. I never really got into like self-help book type stuff until I started doing like this whole real estate thing and then realized I was like, holy crap, like I need to like grow myself or I'm like never gonna get this. So
Any books, any good reads you recommend to me?
um I just finished probably like a month ago. It's called Profit First. Oh my gosh, like mind blown, like totally. I went out and changed my whole entire like banking thing because I was like, what am I doing with my life? And just like I was using more of like a global bank and for like what I needed to do and like what's best for my company. Like I ended up actually switching stuff over to a credit union that was local. So like that helped out tremendously. Um, the other book that I'm reading two books right now. One of them is called The Secrets to the Millionaire Mind. I forget who writes that one.
It's okay.
Don't
We can
don't
all
quote
look
me
it
on
up. Don't worry.
don't quote me on that one. And then the other one I'm reading is actually Lisa Bevere's book from the conference,
Yes.
Lioness Arising. So I just started reading that one and I'm like halfway through it with it. It's like so good that I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have like started before I finished The Millionaire Bind, but I was like, man, this is like good stuff. So I'm like halfway through that one and I'm like at the beginning of The Secrets from the Millionaire Mind, but I'll probably end up finishing Lisa Bevere's book and then go back and finish
Oh, funny. Yeah, I
the
added it to
other
my
one.
watch list because my wish list, sorry, because I was like, I can't start it because I know if I do, it's just gonna go down.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
so good though. It really is good. Like I like her writing style a lot. Um, so, but I mean, I do like self-help books, but like occasionally, like The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, it's just like really dry for me a little bit. So like sometimes I'm like, which is why I've started on the Lisa Bevere book because I'm like, oh, this is like really good, and then like I need something different to like switch it up and then come back. The
makes
other
sense.
one that I've read that I really liked was David Green's Long Distance Investing. I don't know.
I haven't heard of that one.
It has like binoculars on like the front of the book, but it's all about like if you want to invest out of state and like how you do that and how you set it up so that you have like checks and balances so that people aren't taking advantage of you and you know that you're getting like, a decent deal, but you're not flying out to like look at every single property. So
Very nice. Thank you for
that
sharing.
one was really, really good and kind of just like opened up my eyes to the whole like, people actually do this and can do it virtually and are successful at it. You just gotta like have your people in place. So
Correct. Very good. All right. Is there any challenge that you want to leave our audience with?
challenge. I would just say like if you've been thinking about trying, real estate, like you're never gonna know if you're gonna be successful at it unless you try it. Like you never know if you're gonna be good at it. You don't know if there's just like so many unknowns. So I would just say like if you're even questioning it, like don't be afraid to just like take a leap of faith and just like try something new. And just because you tried it and you're not good at it, like doesn't mean that you're not eventually going to be good at it. So I think like if I was gonna like challenge anybody just to like take a little bit of a leap of faith and definitely like believe in yourself. And sometimes it's gonna be hard and you're gonna have like some of those tough days and you're gonna have even some tough months, but you gotta make sure that your why, the reason why you want to do it, the reason why, that you've decided to, make this change, like that has to be stronger than the crap that's like happening. You just
Absolutely.
gotta put it in perspective.
Very encouraging. Thank you. I appreciate that. And where can everybody find you? On social media or website or?
Yeah, I have a business website. It's www.homeandhearthco.com. But I'm most active on Facebook. So I do not have a business Instagram or anything like that, but I do have a business page on Facebook, and then my personal page, sorry, which is Kristin Witherspoon. I get on there and like message people a lot if they have like questions. I'm also pretty active in like the women's real estate investor network group too, like posting questions and stuff like that. So if you guys ever need to find me, that is where I am.
Thank you so much for your time, Kristin. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You
Thanks
too.
for
Bye.
being here. Bye-bye.